Hello, everyone. In this series, we will introduce you to some of the concepts of socio-cultural anthropology. In fact, socio-cultural anthropology is one of the most interesting and easy modules of anthropology. And here we study what is society, what is a culture, and the various sort of socio-cultural institutions and practices of mankind. And that's across space and time. Space as in across various geographies, and time as in all the way from the past, all the way till today, present. Having a stronghold on this particular module will definitely help you maximize your scores in anthropology option. And that's not just in paper one, but in paper two as well. So on that note, let's get started. One by one. So let's take a concept called kin groups. In this, we have lineage, clan, and many other things that we will come to. So let us take a look. So what is a lineage? What is a kin group? What is kin? Do you guys know what is kin? Okay, we'll leave it. Relatives. Kin means relatives, okay? Kin means relatives. Kin groups means groups of, okay, kins. The simplest group is the simplest kin group is going to be family, right? It cannot be smaller than this. And this is something that we discussed. It is a basic social unit, basic economic unit, and also acts as a biological unit. Now, once I have discussed that, lineage. What is lineage? So lineage is your descent group. We've already seen how it works, and we've talked about the many different forms that are prevalent in different parts of the world. Now, descent group will consist of what? Different families, right? So lineage generally includes a few generations. How is a family related to lineage? You guys seem very quiet today. Maybe there is a lag. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll explain it. Okay, so so family generally you have cohabitation. Members of a lineage may not share a common residence. They may not. They may stay in the same village, but in the same home, highly unlikely. Now, generally, most lineages are exogamous. Means outside, you have to marry outside a particular lineage, right? Now, let's talk about this. So, and lineage as in you have your matrilineal line, you have your patrilineal line. Can you marry into your patrilineal line?
Sorry, is it matrilineal? Your voice is breaking.
So my question is, okay. So you have a patrilineal. So you get your, so you have your Vamsham, right? So you have Vamsham. Okay. And you have your Intipair.
Okay.
According to me, or in my understanding, Intipair is the same as your Vamsham. Because when I ask Telgites about their Vamsham, they don't know. If I ask them about the Intipair, they have a Intipair, right? So if you have an Intipair, so you have your Kumba, Chalapraglada, and you know, these kinds of surnames, right? Can you marry somebody within that?
No, sir.
So it is clear that there is exogamy there, right? But can you marry somebody from your mother's lineage?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're saying father's lineage, okay, is exogamous. Mother's side, not so much. However, I've also heard that it works even on the mother's side, especially from Andhra folk. But we'll come to it when we come to clan. Okay. So we'll just hold that thought for now. So generally, when you talk about a lineage, you are able to tell who your ancestors are. So your ancestors are known, okay, not mythological. Okay, so you have patrilineage, matrilineage, okay, basically Intiperu, right, or Taravad. What is Taravad? It is like Intiperu for Keralites. And this is the Intiperu of whose? It is your mother's ancestral home. So far, so good.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's TA or THA, depending upon whether you go with the South Indian spelling or the North Indian spelling. Okay. Now I want to bring in another term. Okay. Outside my family. Okay. So first was family. Then I have my lineage. Now I'm going to go to clan. Clan is your Gotra. Okay. In Telugu, it's Gotra. In some other language, it's Kula. In some other language, so there are a whole lot of terms for it. Okay. So what is a clan?
Isn't it a group of people having common ancestor or something like that?
Okay, a group of people having common ancestors. Can you tell me how it is different from lineage?
Yeah, I was actually confused. What is the difference between these two?
Pay attention, okay? These things seem easy, but there is a lot of confusion in these. Okay, and only when you start writing it or when you start applying it, you'll feel like there is some lack of clarity. Generally, okay, members are supposed to be. I'm going to go with what you have said. We'll start with that itself. Descend. DESCED. It's correct, I guess. Looks odd, but anyway, I think it's correct. Okay, descendant from a common ancestor. Okay, I've just transcribed whatever you just told me. Okay, however, what differentiates this from a lineage is that the genealogical links aren't specified, aren't very clear. So this is meaning you believe, okay, or you're supposed to have a common ancestor. Okay, but you don't know yet. You don't know for sure. However, within a lineage, you know what's your father's name, you know your grandpa's name, you know what's your great grandfather. Okay, and if you find any old people in your family, they will probably tell you another 2-3 more generations, right? You will be able to figure that out. When it comes to Gotra, you cannot tell so. These Gotras are very old, long stories, and a lot of it is made up also. I'll come to it when we talk about paper in paper 2. Okay, can you give me a few Gotras examples?
Bharadwaj.
See, this is a Rishi's name. Okay. Similarly, there is somebody who in another class said Shanta Muni. Okay, and Muni also means Rishi, right? Okay, these are Rishi names. There is Arikella, 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 something like that. This is the name of a plant. Okay, this is a Gotra for somebody else. Okay, what
Vashishta
else?
is also one of them.
Sorry,
Vashishta.
Bashish. No, that's again okay. Okay, this is also another Rishi. Then there is you can have some animal names. Okay, you can have inanimate objects. For instance, I know somebody. Okay, she is Agni Kula Kshatriya. Agni Kula Kshatriya. Okay, meaning they believe that they're born from the fire that came out of some puja, something, I forget. Okay, but something along these lines. Okay, were they really born? Is this a real ancestor? No. Were they born from a plant? No. Okay. Sri Sreshta, that's another one, right? Paidipala. Have you heard of this? Have you heard of Shankupala? Right? Inanimate objects. Or actually, I don't know what these means. Pala and Balu means milk. Shanku means like what? A conch shell. Paidi, I don't know. So you probably have a better understanding. So generally, these So what are these? So members of that particular clan cannot demonstrate their actual direct relationship through a genealogical connected line. Descent may be traced through an ancestor or believed to be an ancestor, but it could be a mythical ancestor. So what I'm saying is that you have many lineages. They all form a clan, and many clans put together will form something else. Do you get the point? Generally, a clan has a symbol that is called a totem. For this particular girl, it is going to be an Arikela plant. It is of some importance to their particular Gotra. The next we have is a grouping called phratry. What's a phratry? It comes from a Greek word which means brotherhood. So two or more clans, just like how two or more lineages made up a Gotra, so as a descent group, it is larger or smaller than a clan. Is it larger or smaller?
Larger.
Okay, it may or may not be exogamous. And again, even here, they will not be able to demonstrate a very clear straight link, a genealogical link with a common ancestor. However, they strongly believe that they all have a common ancestor. Okay, clan 1, Shankupala, Paidipala, Arikella, Bharadwaj, okay, and something else put together will form a phratry. And many other Gotras put together will form a phratry, etc. Is that clear? And they'll all come together and form another group. Similarly, you can have another grouping, okay, another kin group called Moiety. This comes from a French word, okay, means half. So what happens here? It is the largest kin grouping. Generally, they will be exogamous, but only generally. Okay, because there are, so for instance, if you take the Todas of Nilgiris, you will find out that they have two different moieties, the Tartazole and the Taivaliol. And those have its endogamy there. So the Tartazole is considered a little higher. Okay, Taivaliol has a lower presence there. Even in terms of number of clans, the first one has 12 clans and the next one has 6 clans. Okay, so exception is your Todas. You get the point? So you will have a moiety 1 and you'll have a moiety 2. Both put together is going to be your tribal group or your caste group. Even here, just like the clans or the phratries, members believe that they have a common ancestor, but clearly you cannot specify the exact genealogical link with that common ancestor. It goes way too far back. And a lot of it might even be made up. A lot of it is just belief. A lot of it is also some mythical figure. If you get disconnected, just log back in. Less than a minute.
Okay.
Generally, these are the rules, but there are exceptions everywhere. Somebody told me that there is paternal and maternal side Gotra exogamy. Okay, some in Andhra. Okay, some told me that some have this wrong conception that mother's Gotra changes. Okay, maybe some maybe because they take up the Inti Peru or something like that. Okay, but leave that aspect. I also know somebody whose Inti Peru is Neelam. Okay, and her what is it? Father's clan Gotra is Pandavas. Mothers also is Pandavas, right? And they got married. They had children. So this is Gotra. So here clearly it is not exogamous. But most likely you have this Gotra thing to ensure that there is exogamy that is a little more than just the lineage exogamy. Is that okay? So in family, so within family, okay, I want to type family and kinship, okay? So let's say in kinship, types. This is one such classification. So in this particular classification, I want to talk about Kansang, UINEAL relations, consanguineal relations. And the other one is, what is the other one? Tell me. Do you guys know? So what is this? Does anybody know? Does anyone want to venture a guess?
So consanguineal is blood related, and final is through marriage, definitely.
Through marriage. Okay, so now if I go with the same concept into family, how would I break it up? I will have family of orientation, and I will have family of procreation. So how does this work?
Same. Orientation is marriage. Procreation is lineage.
Orientation you're saying is marriage, and procreation is?
So, blood relatives, father, mother.
Okay. So it is like this. but the opposite. So the reference point here is you. Okay, so family of procreation is when you reproduce. So this is your marry and you procreate or you reproduce.
Okay.
And family of orientation is born and raised. So this is your family of orientation, family of procreation. In terms of kinship terms, it will be consanguine, it will be affinal. Is that clear so far?
Yeah.
So can you give me some examples here? Let's throw in some examples also. Okay, so parent-children relationship, where should I place it? Left or right?
Orientation.
Left.
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 Siblings,
Orientation.
husband,
Procreation.
adopted child,
Procreation. Uh,
so your own child, if it's biological, that means it comes under orientation. But if it's adopted, then it will come under procreation. Is that what you're suggesting?
yeah.
You've got to treat all children like they are
What?
own children. Okay, no, this Sotelima kind of concept. Okay, so essentially, what am I saying? For the practice, for the purposes of anthropology, or for the purposes of kinship, okay, you treat all offspring as your biological offspring. Okay, so that is that. You know what I want to do? I want to. I think Anjali, you were not there because your diagram shows me that you don't know how to draw those diagrams at all, right? I'll just give you. So, for instance, the symbols for kinship chart. What is this? Man. What is this? Woman. What is this? Marriage. What is this?
Marriage.
Siblings.
Sibling.
Okay. What is this?
Okay. Okay.
Dead.
Okay. Got it.
Dead. Okay. Divorce. Okay. The person being studied or ego, like this. Twins, like this. This you may forget. The rest of it, I think, is quite self-evident, right?
Oh, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Fine. Just really quick, just draw 3 generations of your family. Okay, and I want all of these things. Okay, uh, if there is a divorce, if they are dead, okay, I need the ego. You have to be the ego. If there are twins, all of these things have to be mentioned. I'll give you a minute. 3 generations, it's fine. Meaning you will have your maternal grandpa, maternal side grandparents, and you have your paternal side grandparents all together also in this. Your generation, your parents' generation, and your grandparents' generation. Please draw me a kinship diagram, a kinship chart. These charts are very important. It will be definitely, you will definitely have to draw these in your exam. Now what you draw here will be different from what you draw in bio. Bio portion, the symbols are a little different. You know that anthropology is a holistic study, right? So it has like biological elements. It has, so you've borrowed more from, you know, genetics and bio and natural sciences. You've also borrowed a lot from the sociology side. So sociology has a certain lingo, it has certain symbolic representations. Similarly, your biological side has very different, not very different to be honest, it is like quite similar. But for instance, like how you say ego here, it'll be a propositus there. Instead of a male being a triangle, it'll be something else there. Done?
Yeah.
I'm looking at yours. Okay. So one mistake that I saw is that siblings are marked like this. These are siblings, not this. This on top, and you drop down. Is that clear?
Oh, okay.
And you should only have this or this. This is not allowed.
Oh, okay.
Harika, I had mentioned you need to have your paternal grandparents and maternal grandparents both in the same chart.
Oh, okay, sir.
But if you have very big family, try to you can even reduce the number
Okay,
to
sir.
make it simpler. But you need to find a way to connect your paternal side and the maternal side, because we're not drawing a lineage chart. You're not trying to trace lineage. For you, they are equally your grandparents, just like your parents' side. You have a patrilineal or a matrilineal in your family?
Patrilineal, sir.
Patrilineal, okay. Because you've drawn your mother's side, that's why. Okay, so I'm guessing you've gotten it. If you have any questions, you ask me later. A child is drawn, so I'm drawing this part, okay? Two siblings married to two guys, okay? it is drawn in the center. It is as much your husband's children as it is your own. So it comes from here. Okay, the center. Is that okay?
Okay.
And also on top, we'll discuss this later. Like this. Okay, like this. Do you see this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Can you see the difference in what you have drawn and what I've drawn?
No. It has to be connected. Is that what you're saying?
Revati, do you have two twins in your family?
That's actually not my family chart, but I missed the part that it should be mine. I just made up.
Okay, but still you have only one set of grandparents given there. Acha, you've mentioned, okay, it's not my family, just made up a new family. I missed that I was supposed to draw my family. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I've just given you something, just think, okay? So all of these things, unless you do it yourself, you will not be able to tell where you're going wrong. Okay. Now, we were talking about family of procreation and family of orientation, right? Now, in this itself, I'll talk about a few other things. Okay, now let's talk about degrees of kinship. In degrees of kinship, you can have a primary kin, you can have secondary kin, and you can have tertiary kin. Let's draw a few generations. This lady is married to this guy, they have a child. Okay, and this female is married to another guy, they have a child. This lady is married to another guy, and they have a child. Seems like an easy family, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, she's married to 8. Sorry. Now, what is primary kin? Primary kin if they're directly related. If they're directly related to ego, let's say to ego. So I'm starting with this particular girl. She is the ego. Ego as in the reference point. So who would be primary kin to her?
2 and 3.
Who's going to be secondary kin? It depends on what secondary kin is. If somebody is related to a person's ego through their primary kin, a person's or ego's primary kin, then they are called secondary kin. So who will be secondary kin here to 1?
4, 5.
4, 5.
And if directly related to blah 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 to secondary kin. If directly related to ego's secondary kin, in case there's any confusion. So who will it be here?
6 and 7.
Hope this video has helped you link the local with the global, the past with the present socio-cultural practices, and also helped you understand and appreciate the diversity of human societies across space and across time. If there's any other aspect of anthropology that you would like to know more about, do let us know in the comment section, and we will definitely try to make videos on it. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.